Well, greetings, dear friends. Welcome to the Some TV Secrets Unsealed Kitchen. I'm glad you decided to join us today. Today we are going to prepare two specific dishes. One is caldo and the other is arepas. Let me give you a little bit of background. I grew up in the country of Venezuela and Colombia. And first of all, I lived in Colombia just for a few months and then in Venezuela from the time I was 5 till I was 14. After that, I had the privilege of studying theology in Colombia and also teaching there at the same university. And so, having gone as a little child, I got accustomed to the cuisine there in Venezuela and in Colombia. And in both countries, they eat caldo and arepas. It's a breakfast cuisine. So we're going to do caldo first, and I'd just like to say that caldo is made differently depending on what region of Colombia and what region of Venezuela you are in. In Colombia, they have something that is called changua. That has an egg in it. It also has milk, and it has bread. That's not the kind that we're going to make here. What we're going to make here is very simple, very inexpensive, and very healthy. So let's get right into it. First of all, we're going to make the caldo. And while the caldo is cooking, we are going to turn and work on the arepas. So the first thing that you want to do is to get a small pan. I'm making like for 5 people, a family of 5. You get a pan and you put 6 cups of water in the pan. That's the first thing you need to do. And then what you do next is to salt the water to taste. Some people like things more salty. Some people like things less salty. So, you just put salt in the water and you kind of taste the water to see if the saltiness is what you really enjoy and what is healthy. And then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 carrot and you're going to grate the carrot. Now, I'll just show you the carrot, but we already have grated the carrot. You can see it here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the carrot, grated carrot, in the water. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put the potatoes in the water. The caldo is a caldo de papas. In other words, a broth of potatoes. So you take one of the potatoes. This is the way I like to do it. You cut it in half, and then you cut it in a quarter, and then what you do is you cut pieces, rather chunky pieces, into the water that you have salted. So you do quarters, and you just, some people, if you like a lot of potato, you can put in 3 potatoes, but I think 2 potatoes is more than enough. So you're just cutting big chunks into the water. And something else that I would like to mention, that is that when you peel the potatoes, leave part of the skin, as you can see here, leave part of the skin on the potato. Probably you can see it better here, because it kind of keeps the potato together. It doesn't become like mashed potatoes. It conserves its shape, which is what you want to happen. So let's finish here. Cutting these chunks of potato. I'll do the second one also. And this is actually very, very simple, as you can tell. Nothing complicated about it. Very healthy and very inexpensive also, I might mention, because all you need is 2 potatoes and 1 carrot. And you need some green onion, which I'll talk about, and you need some cilantro. So let's do this second half of the potato. Put it here in the water, the salted water with the carrots. And, I'm kind of messy in the kitchen. I always clean up after myself, though. Here you have the potato already in the water. So now what you're going to do is you're going to turn on the burner and you are going to cook the potatoes. So let's do that. Let's see here. I'm not well versed on this particular, there we go. And you put the lid on That way it's going to boil faster. The potatoes are going to cook faster. Now, we're going to go a little bit later to the finishing of the caldo. Basically, the only other things that you need for the caldo is chopped green onions and also cilantro. Lots of green onion, lots of cilantro, and a little bit of olive oil. But we'll come to that a little bit later. So now we have the caldo cooking, and we want to turn to the arepas now. When you make the arepas, I'll just show you what I use. This is white corn, what do you call it in English? White corn meal. White corn meal. And you see, this is available mostly in Latin America, although you can get it in the Hispanic section of stores here in the United States. I like harina pan, P-A-N, because it has a good consistency and you can really form the arepas easily. So what you're going to do is you have water, and I already put some plant-based butter in the water. Of course, you have to heat the water in order for the plant-based butter to melt. And then you're going to put salt into the water. And once again, depending on your taste, you know, it's you'll decide how salty you want it to be. I'll just mix it here. Mix in the salt. Then after you've done that, you're going to take the harina pan, and you're going to put the harina pan into the water, spread it around like this, and don't overdo it because then it'll become very, very dry. After you do that, you're going to take the spoon, and let me take this out of the way, and you're going to mix in the harina pan into the water. It's too watery right now, so you want to put some more in. I'll show you what the consistency should be like in a moment. Okay, so let's mix it some more. Blend in the water with the butter, with the plant-based butter, and then we'll be able to form the arepas. Still, it looks like we might add a little bit more harina pan, and then we'll mix it a little bit more. And now you have the masa to make the arepas. Just a little bit more, and we'll be all set. I think that'll do it. Now, after you mix, and probably you can see this, after you mix the water with the butter and the salt in the harina pan, what you want to do is you want to let it sit for probably about 3 or 4 minutes so that the water absorbs the harina pan. And then after that, you're going to start forming the arepas. And let me turn on the grill here. This is one of the small grills. And I'll just put this back here. And I just heat it to 400. You want it to be nice and hot before you put the arepas in. So just reviewing, you put 6 cups of water into a pan. Then you salt it to taste. After that, you put in 1 carrot, not whole pieces, but grated carrot. After that, 2 potatoes, which you cut in chunks. And then you turn on the stove to the highest with the lid on so that it gets nice and hot and the potatoes cook through. And while that is happening, then we're doing the arepas. So just reviewing what we said about the arepas, so it's very, very clear. You have water with some plant-based butter, and then you salt that to taste, according to your taste. And then you pour in the harina pan, which you can get in any Hispanic section, any of supermarkets. And if they don't have it, you can always request that they get it for you. This is like about $3 for a bag. And then you just let it sit for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, so that the harina pan is absorbed by the water. Now, the next thing that you do is that you're going to form the arepas. And, you know, it's kind of like doing little cakes. So what I'm going to do now is take part of the masa. Let's see if this is hot enough. Yeah, it warmed up real quickly. Here is, you can see the consistency of the masa here. It's not real soft and it's not real hard. And it's very easily formed into a round arepa. So let's form the arepa nice and round. And then you press it in the middle so that it flattens out. See, you can see it flattened out there. And then you go around the edges, you know, because you have cracks on the edges. You don't want there to be cracks on the edges. Now you can make it as flat as you want and as large as you want. It's almost like a gordita. But you see on the edge here, you have kind of cracks. And you want to make sure that you get rid of those cracks so that it looks real nice and round. And so let's do this and get it all set. All right. So there you see the arepa, nice and round, very easy to mold. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the arepa, and because the masa has butter, it's not going to stick to the pan if it's a nonstick pan. So let's put it in here. We formed one. Let's form another one here. You know, this morning before this demonstration, I made arepas and caldo for everybody in the office. And they seem to enjoy it. It's almost all gone. So let's form another arepa. I'll make this one a little bit smaller. See, it doesn't even stick to your hands because it has the vegan butter, which makes it easier to mold. Okay, so we're doing the same thing. We're flattening it out, and we are taking all the cracks out of the sides to make it nice and round. Let's do this here. That's pretty well formed, as you can see. And then we'll put this one in as well. And you know, we can do that with all of them. Let me just do another couple of them while we're waiting for the potatoes to cook. Okay, let's just make sure you knead it well. Okay, so you press it together. Go make it round like that. Press it in the middle. And then extend it out, nice and round. And, you know, well, I can't do that right here now, but you might want to wet your hands each time that you're forming the arepa. It makes it a lot easier to form the arepa, but that's not absolutely indispensable. So see, there you have the nice round arepa again. And we're going to put that one in here. In this particular grill, you can get 4 of them. So let me form one more because the caldo is still in the process of warming up. I probably should have heated the water beforehand. But anyway, let me form the 4th one. And then I'll tell you a little bit about how to eat the arepas once the arepas are ready. Okay, let's see here. This one is not as easy to form because I needed to wet my hands, but you can do that at your own leisure. See, once again, there you have the round arepa. We'll put it in with the others, and now we have 4 arepas formed. And in a minute, we'll turn them over. Once they get brown on each side, you turn them over, let them brown on the other side, and then I like to put them in the oven. You know, I heat the oven to 350, and then I put them in like for 3 minutes, and what happens is they inflate, they puff up. It makes it very easy to cut them on the sides, and then what you do is you open up the arepa, and you stuff it with, we have 3 kinds of veggie cheese here, yellow and white. Some people like avocados in their arepa. Once we did a mission trip to Venezuela, and we had several people from the United States that went with us. And of course, down there, they eat arepas for every breakfast. And what our people did was put peanut butter and jelly in the arepa. And everybody down there thought that that was hilarious to have an arepa and to put peanut butter and jelly in the arepa. But our people said, man, it's fantastic. And I tried it. Actually, it tasted pretty good. So you can actually put in whatever you want as long as it's not forbidden in the Bible, as long as it's not unhealthy. Well, let's check and see how this is coming. Well, you can see smoke coming out, so it's warming up, but it's going to take a while. So now we'll just take a break, and when we get to the point where the caldo is cooked, we'll come back and I'll show you the arepas and how to prepare the arepas to eat. Well, we're back. Now I want to show you what the arepas look like after you take them off the grill. Some people like the arepas somewhat charred, like this. Others like them kind of like this side. You can see it's not charred, but it actually becomes hard on the outside and soft on the inside. So we have here, for the arepas, you have 3 kinds of vegan cheese. You have, this is probably a substitute for cheddar. Here's a cheese that is a little bit lighter. And then you have here some white cheese, which I didn't know that you could actually get, but it is available. And so what you want to do is to take one of the arepas, and I'm going to take out a plate here, and I'm going to put it right here. So you take one of the arepas, let's take this big one, and you're going to, cut it so that you're able to fill it. See, this is the way it's going to look. Some people like to take out some of the masa, and, because they don't like to eat all of that masa, and that's fine. And then you want to take some of this plant-based butter, and you're going to put the plant-based butter on one side of the arepa, like this. And then after that, let's put this back. You can fill it with cheese if you want. Let me put some of this white cheese in here. So you put the white cheese in it, and you cover it up, and there you have the arepa con queso, arepa with cheese. Now, some people like the arepa with avocado. And I know in Venezuela, people eat the arepa with tomato. So, basically the sky's the limit when it comes to what you can put inside the arepa. Be original. So now we just open this up. As you can see, take out some of the masa. And then you're going to take the vegan butter. And this vegan butter is really, really good. And you put the vegan butter on one side. And here we have avocado. So you take pieces of avocado and you put it in the arepa, just like this. I like a lot of avocado. So there you have the arepa covered with avocado. And then what you want to do, of course, is put a little bit of salt on the avocado. And then after that, you cover it up. And there you have a delicious arepa with avocado. I had some this morning, but this is looking pretty good. I could eat one right now. Very, very tasty. I'm sure that you're going to enjoy them if you try this recipe. You'll notice that everything we've done is very simple. This is cornmeal, just pre-cooked cornmeal. No preservatives, no special colorings or anything they put in, and everything else is natural. So now what we're going to do, we'll set this, let's put it up here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to finish preparing the caldo. And to finish preparing the caldo, which, just to remind you, it has carrots, grated carrot, 1 grated carrot. It has 2 potatoes cut in chunks and salt. That's all up till now. Now we're going to finish. What you want to do is you want to take some green onion. I like lots of green onion. The more, the better. And then you're going to take some cilantro. See, here's the green onion. There you have a sample. And then you're going to take cilantro, which Joanna Castellanos was my sous chef today. You don't see her here, but she did a lot of the prepping. So you take the cilantro, and I have that here. Actually, I think this has the cilantro and the onion as well. So I think I'm just going to put this onion back here because this already has both. And what you want to do when you chop up the onion with the cilantro all together, you put a little bit of olive oil into the cilantro and the onion as you chop it up. And chop it up real fine, because the more you chop it up, the more the flavor expands in the caldo. You know, some people simply take a few branches of cilantro and they put it in the soup, and they take maybe a carrot and cut it in half and they put the 2 pieces of carrot in. It's not the same as grating the carrot, because the flavor is going to extend. So make sure that you take olive oil when you chop the cilantro and you chop the green onion all together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the, here we have a spoon. Let's put the cilantro and the chopped onion into the caldo. And then we're going to take a ladle and we're going to mix it up. By the way, a very important point is don't put the cilantro and the chopped onion in when you begin, because it loses its flavor. Don't boil everything out of flavor. What you want to do is the cilantro and the green onion, you want to put in right at the last before you serve it. That way the taste will be new and fresh. So basically now we have a complete Venezuelan or Colombian breakfast. We have on the first hand, we have the caldo, and maybe I can just take out a little bit with the ladle so that you can see what it looks like. There you have. Isn't that beautiful? Now, another little trick that I use is that to make this thicker, the soup thicker, I press some of the potatoes against the side of the pan. And the purpose of that is to break up some of the potatoes, because they haven't broken up because you've left some of the skin on the potatoes. So what you want to do is press some of the potatoes to the sides, and that's going to break up some of the potatoes, and it's going to make the caldo thicker. And so basically, this is a breakfast of arepas and caldo. I just encourage you to try it. I think that you'll like it. Not only if you're from Venezuela and from Colombia, but why not give it a whirl if you've never eaten this before? I'm sure that you will greatly enjoy it. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. And may your next breakfast with caldo and arepa be tasty. God bless.